We're going to be doing a great job, and hopefully it'll start being bipartisan because everybody really wants the same thing. We want greatness for this country that we love. So I think we're going to have some very good relationships. Right, Chuck? I see Chuck. Hello, Chuck. And I really think that will happen.
All right. The Chuck to whom the president was referring was none other than Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader in the Senate. About 50, 60 senators were there, many with their spouses, Democrats and Republicans alike, as part of the outreach effort on the part of this administration to make things right. Dennis Kucinich, former U.S. Congressman from the beautiful state of Ohio, former presidential candidate. What do you make of these overtures, and do they work? What do you think?
Well, it's important for the president to reach out. This is a very polarized environment. It's polarized within the parties as well. The American people, we've seen polarizing appearances at town hall meetings, and there's a lot of division in the country. The president has to seek to unite America. Maybe he can do it on the infrastructure. He certainly has to do it by April 28th when the government funding bill comes in. It's important to reach out, and I know he's got his problems with Schumer right now, but Senator Schumer is a realist, and I'm hopeful that they'll find a way to work together.
How hard do you think that the Democrats are going to respond, especially on the health care thing? Because they must know they've got a short-term victory here, but they're concerned, I'm sure as anybody, Chuck Schumer included, that the math doesn't favor this health care law going forward, that there are going to be problems. They've got to address them. How eager will he be to do that?
Well, health care is going to continue to be vexing because you have so many different players and the insurance companies who seem to make money no matter whether the Democrats or the Republicans are in charge. I think we have to look at health care being one of those things that may not get resolved that easily. The bigger questions relate to the budget and to the United States presence in countries around the world where we're at war. Those are things that Congress is going to have to deal with and assume its power under Article 1, Section 8. President Trump needs to continue to reach out. It's very important to do that. Whether or not he's going to be able to come to an agreement on some of these issues, very difficult, Neil. Immigration, very difficult. The wall, very difficult. Infrastructure, that could be the place where you find some agreement.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's where a number of Democrats say they support what he's doing. Maybe that could also be a way to win Democratic votes for tax reform, that sort of thing. But let me, if you don't mind my veering into a little bit of politics here. Hillary Clinton speaking in California yesterday. She sure sounded like a candidate for president again. What do you make of that?
Well, you have to look at how Hillary Clinton lost the election. It wasn't just simply that the Democratic base abandoned working middle-class Americans in the Midwest. I know about that. But it was also because Comey interjected himself in the closing week of the election. So I think that she probably feels there's still an important place for her, and there is, in the politics of the country. And I would never count her out.
So you're not in that camp that says, with or without Comey, she was spiraling out of control in industrial states that she was taking for granted?
Look, the answer is no, Neil. And, you know, the Vox.com did an analysis and showed that once Comey made his announcement, there was a real shift away from Secretary Clinton and towards now President Trump. That announcement that he made, which really was insinuating criminality, had a major impact on the election. Had I been President Obama at the time, I would have fired Comey like that. He'd been gone.
All right, even though it was sort of rejiggered later, right? I mean, and he did an about face. It was too late.
Oh, man, that cow was so far out of the barn once he made that announcement. It was already walking down Pennsylvania Avenue in an inaugural address.
Wow, or an inaugural just dress. All right, thank you very much. Dennis Kucinich, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Okay.